What up, YouTube fans? This is Zuby Masters returning to my Let's Play of Triangle Strategy.
It's over. We've won.
And what have we won? Landroy has seen to it that nothing shall escape these flames. What victory can be had over ashes?
My lord.
So this is how it ends.
It would seem the townsfolk evacuated before the battle.
Landroy's doing, no doubt.
War is a miserable sight, no matter who your foe. But when that foe is your own countryman...
Are these the wages of loyalty? Raised earth and burnt corpses.
Let us return. We are done here.
Atop what remains of Glenbrook's former high houses, Gustadolf lays the foundation for his new dominion. With the taste of bitter victory still in their mouths, the members of House Walfort await with heavy hearts the trials the morrow is sure to bring.
Thought you'd be here. Tell it true. Do you really reckon we can best Gustadolf?
Victory will not come easily, this is for sure. We have a chance, however, and we must needs take it.
You've always had a fire in your eyes, Benedict. It's heartening indeed.
'Tis not easy to keep hope, but keep it we must. We cannot submit quietly to an inglorious fate. My duty is to House Wolford, first and foremost. And I would be remiss if I were to think otherwise.
The recent days have seen rising lawlessness near the border. Doubtless the consequence of the instability in Glenbrook.
Indeed.
Lord Sparag, forgive me. I forget myself, my lord.
It's too late for that. Out with it.
My lord, the bulk of our forces are occupied abroad, leaving only scant numbers at home. The longer this campaign continues, the more fraught the situation within our borders becomes.
Your concern is duly noted, Sikris. Rest assured that the Archduke is not ignorant to such issues. And besides, strength of arms is not the only means by which order is maintained. The time has come to gird our nation with fire and steel.
Fire and steel, my lord?
Yes, we shall fulfill our duty at last.
Delia, what's wrong?
Brother,
Calm yourself. Take a deep breath. Now, tell me what happened.
I heard them talking. I wasn't supposed to, but I heard them. Thalos and... Oh, Roland. The Archduke. He means to order your execution.
Grave news, my lord. Prince Roland is to be beheaded at the Archduke's decree.
What? On what grounds?
For inciting unrest by ordering the invasion of the Falk's domain.
The gall of that man!
Furthermore, House Wolford has been invited to attend the execution. Our presence is mandatory.
Ah, of course it is. That sneak.
Do you mean to go?
We dare not disobey the summons. The consequences would almost certainly be dire.
Are we just dogs to answer his beck and call?
My lady. Please, I understand. But we have no choice.
I know this, and I apologize. It's just that... there are things we must protect. Things I must protect. Lest we lose what makes us human.
News of Prince Roland's coming execution is carried far and wide. In the blink of an eye, the kingdom of Glenbrook is no more. The realm reels from the tragic turn of events. Prince Roland's death marks an uncertain change in the flow of history. A change which none in the Old Kingdom have the power to reverse. However, the eruption of conflict in the region does not go unnoticed by its neighbors. In the holy state of Hyzant, opportunistic hearts stir.
My dearest friend has been sentenced to die, and there is naught I can do. What use is a lord's position if he can't even save those closest to him?
Serenoa, you mustn't...
Is it true? Another ravenous dog is stirring?
It is. We face none other than Minister Sorsley End, one of the Saintly Seven. It seems he means to take our domain for his own.
House End? Their position in Hyzant has been in decline for some time.
Doubtless, Sorsley means to use the Walford domain to bolster his flagging influence.
My lord, our soldiers have had scarce little time to rest since our last battle. I fear for their morale if they were forced to take the field against Hyzant.
Is there naught we can do?
We have sent requests for aid to House End more than once, my lord. However, our pleas have always fallen on deaf ears. Doubtless Sorsley has been biding his time to strike.
Then it is too late for words. There must be something we can do to avoid straining our already ragged forces.
There is, my lord. However,
I dread the words that follow, however, when they come from you.
Let us ask the Archduke for assistance.
Are you mad, Benedict?
We must needs focus on the matter in front of us. If we weather this storm, we may see that it has unearthed unseen opportunities. However, if we let Sorslay's advance continue unabated, I'm afraid retreat may be our only option.
You are right, as usual. Very well. Ready a bird.
Once we have stacked those sandbags, we should be well fortified against even the fiercest deluge.
Leave it to me. This old wolf has some vim in him yet. Phew. Haven't used some of those muscles since before I can remember.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells. I had braced myself for a full day of labor, at the very least.
Thank Benedict for that. We'd still be searching for weaknesses in our perimeter had he not been guiding us.
Indeed, but let us not understate Eridor's feats of strength.
Come now, Eridor. How many times must I tell you to be delicate with the sandbags? We only have so many at hand.
I hear you, I hear you. I'll treat him as delicately as my lady love, in the absence of one.
Now is not the time for jests, Eridor.
If you don't want me complaining and you don't want me jesting, then I guess I'll just shut my mouth.
To hear them trading barbs like children, you would never think they work so well together.
Wisdom and strength. Two pillars that keep House Wolfort standing strong.
Wisdom, eh? He wasn't always that way. Took him plenty of failing to get where he is now.
I find that difficult to believe.
Is there something you wish to share with us, Eridor?
Might be. Maybe you've forgotten the folly of 20 years past, but my mind is a steel trap. And what's our task for today?
We are to deliver this message to Lady Destra with all haste.
Seems simple enough. Send a bird.
I would not trust a bird in this rain. A horse would be more reliable, and swifter besides.
Is that so? I respectfully disagree, my friend. Either way, I'm not going to be the one nursing you back to health if you catch the chills.
Shall we make it a wager, then? Send a bird, and we shall see who reaches Lady Destra first. You had best hurry.
What? Benedict? Off he goes. Well then, where are those damned hawks? As I recall, Benedict arrived at around the same time as the hawk. If it were a sunny day, he might have won.
Ah, the folly of youth. Many of our best days were spent in Lord Simon's service. We made many such wagers in an attempt to get into Lord Simon and Lady Destra's good graces.
I remember when...
I believe we have had enough reminiscing for one day, Eridor.
Don't be such a harsh taskmaster, Benedict. Where's the harm in a story?
Ask me that again when the floodwaters break through our meager fortifications. There is much to do and little time to do it. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
Me?
Old friends or old enemies? Sometimes it is hard to tell with those two.
Whatever the case, our work's done for the day. And there's nothing like a hard drink after hard labor. You two care to join me?
I would love to. Please, regale me with more tales of your youth.
I see no harm in one drink.
Let's be off then.
Shall we invite Benedict along?
You'd only be wasting your breath.
Now that you mention it, I do not believe I have ever seen you two sharing drinks.
Spirits cloud the mind, so I rarely drink. When I do partake, however, I prefer to do so in quiet. I fear Eridor would only spoil that.
Lord Serenoa never ceases to amaze me. Despite all the hours he dedicates to his duties, he looks none the worse for wear.
Even so, I am certain it takes its toll on him. He wants to set an example for his people and those who serve him, and wishes not to worry them over his condition. Excuse me, Serenoa, but is there anything I could do to help?
Frederica, my apologies for the delay. The citizen's petition will require a bit more time, so why don't you and Gila return home ahead of me?
I see, if you insist. But please do not push yourself too hard, Serenoa.
I shan't. Thank you, Frederica.
Of course.
Is something the matter? It's rare of you to sigh like that.
Did I? Oh my.
It looks like something's troubling you. If you wish to talk about it, I am happy to lend an ear.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sometimes wonder if I can go on like this.
Are things not going well with Lord Serenoa?
No! Serenoa is as kind and gentle as ever. It is my own self I have doubts about. I cannot help but wonder if I am truly of any use to him.
Since Lord Serenoa is always working so hard, why not give him a tonic to boost his vitality? I purchased one from a merchant not long ago. It should chase all his fatigue away.
A good idea to be sure, but the fact remains it is not me myself that is serving him.
Then how about preparing a meal for him? Something nutritious to fill him with vim and vigor.
Me? Cook?
Yes. I'm certain he would be delighted by anything that you make.
But I've never cooked before. I doubt anything I make would suffice.
You won't know until you try. Besides, what matters isn't the result, but the feeling behind it. Use this cookbook. I'm sure you will find a recipe or two to your liking.
Thank you, Jila. Now then, which of these would Serenoa enjoy?
Your Excellency, our troops have boarded and are awaiting your orders.
Good. Stand by until I give the order to depart. We make for the Wolfort domain. Upon the foundations of their keep, we shall build the glory of House End. Tell the troops, they shall be well rewarded for their feats of bravery this day.
Yes, Your Excellency. Seems as if the troubles never cease. I'd kill for a drop of ale.
I take it you and Benedict have seen your share of trouble. You have both served House Wolford for many years, yes?
Aye. We both served Lord Simon since we were green between the ears. Through the good times and the bad. See him now, you wouldn't believe the stories of what we got up to in our tender years. Even then, though, he was always the schemer. Always drawing me into his fanciful plots.
Has so much changed since then?
I don't reckon so. In any case, was there something you wanted to ask me?
There was. The other day, Benedict posed quite the strange question to me. Where snowbell blossoms bloom?
Indeed. I thought perhaps you had seen trace of the flowers while scouting with Flugy.
I've spotted clusters of them in the deep mountain passes before, but not of late.
So it is as I thought. They have ever been a rare sight, even more so in recent years. I had thought to procure one, but it may be wise to temper my expectations in that regard.
Life always finds a way to flourish. I am certain Anna and I can find one before long.
I would not have you chasing my idle fancies. You both have more vital duties to attend to.
Of course.
So, Benedict's looking for a snowbell blossom. What's so peculiar about that?
Nothing, if it were anyone else asking. However, I think you'd agree that Benedict is not the type to go picking flowers on a whim. They say that when a snowbell blooms...
That moment is frozen in time. Aye.
Precisely. You and Benedict both never fail to surprise. But of all flowers, why the snowbell? Does he have some lady love I'm unaware of?
I can't speak to that, but I'll tell you one thing, Hewitt. We've all got moments locked away and placed close to our hearts. You, me, even a stubborn-headed mule like Benedict. Like the Snowbell, we want him frozen like that forever. And like the Snowbell, they're liable to shatter if we let another handle him carelessly.
I understand. I apologize if I was too forward. Let us forget the matter.
No, it isn't you that needs to apologize. I'm always telling Benedict no one likes being lectured.
It was enlightening. I see you and Benedict are true friends.
For lack of a better word, aye. Bring me a draft of ale, and I'll tell you all about our younger days. At least, what I can remember. I recall Benedict wasn't nearly as capable as he is now.
I may have to take you up on that offer.
Do you really reckon snowbells are still blooming somewhere out there?
Perhaps. Though I've not seen them in this region. They may still bloom in the southern reaches.
In other words, a trek and a half from here. Don't give up the search, my friend. A whole day of hunting, and this is all I have to show for it. Wanted to give Lord Serenoa something meaty for once.
A deer is no easy prey. You are a skilled hunter.
One deer to your 3 boar? It's plain who the better of us is. I don't reckon you let a single one escape. Could be hunting is your true calling.
Perhaps. Before I was knighted, I was keeper of the Hawk's Roost. And besides, I come from a long line of hunters.
That's so. And what drove you to fight men for a living?
Lenbrook put out a call for Hawk Riders, that they might challenge S. Frost's aerial superiority. I answered that call. My training was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I won a position in the Kingsguard, where I petitioned to serve Prince Roland personally.
Seeing you in action, I'm sure you could have made a fine commander. Yet you stuck by the prince's side.
Yes, I did. Fluky has yet to return. I hope he isn't in danger.
What's this then? A traveler out here all alone, huh? And in sore need of protection by my reckoning. Hand over your coin purse and maybe we can reach an arrangement.
Bandits? Here? How could I be so careless?
I'd advise against running. There's nowhere for you to go. Enough! Are you hurt?
I'm fine, thanks to you. Had you not showed up when you did, I could have ended up dead. You have my gratitude.
Is that your hawk? It guided me here. I was in the middle of a hunt. Your bird cried out as if calling to me. Thank heaven I did not lose that arrow. I've never known hawks to be so wise.
His name is Fluky, and he's more than my hawk. He's my closest companion.
The bandits are growing more bold by the day. It is best you return home.
Wait! I have scarce little to give in the way of coin, but still, there must be something I Prince Roland. Forgive me, Your Highness.
There's no need for all that stuff and formality. Maybe we meet again soon.
Yes, Your Highness. That was my first meeting with the prince. He saved my life, and for that, I shall be forever in his debt. I could settle for no less than the Kingsguard.
Greetings. Were you training outside?
Not today. Even I stay away from the proving grounds on occasion. The members of the Kingsguard must keep themselves in prime fighting shape. That includes resting when our bodies are weary.
A wise policy. The handmaidens of Esfrost adhere to a similar principle. With clear eyes, we see, we serve, we anticipate.
Interesting. Although our tools are different, we're alike in our aims.
Indeed. We must be the pillars our charges turn to in times of need. Even so, we are only human. If I may ask in confidence, do you ever find it trying to serve Prince Roland? Is he ever unreasonable? Have you ever found your patience tested?
No, never. It is an honor to serve, always. It is an odd question to ask, but I must confess I find it hard to imagine what it is like to serve in a society such as Esfrost's.
As do I, although I lived through it. It all feels as if it were so long ago.
You're not one for speaking plain, are you? But I suspect we may have much in common. I'm curious to hear your story, if you are willing to share it.
Of course. I made a promise to myself long ago to effect change through my own deeds, not to live as a mere servant.
And what came of that promise?
Hailing from Hyzant, at first I endeavored to learn at the Ministry, that I might use the knowledge gained there to help others. But they guard their secrets fiercely, and maintain strict control over what fields their students can pursue. As much as it pained me to leave my home, I could not suffer such stifling rules, and so set forth to Esfrost. I took quickly to learning at the archives, where independent study is encouraged. I spent days in the stacks, soaking up as much knowledge as I could, when one day,
You are the one called Gila, yes?
yes, my lord.
They tell me you're the most talented researcher the archives have ever seen.
I couldn't say that, my lord. Though I do spend more time here than most anyone else.
Admirable modesty. And you aren't frightened of me. Most impressive. I believe we have a suitable role for you. Come with me. The Archduke would have a word.
The Archduke? But...
No harm will come to you, if that is your fear. Now, follow me.
Lord Svarog had arranged an audience with the former Archduke of Esfrost, who appointed me as Frederica's personal tutor. She was the former Archduke's daughter, so I took my duty seriously. Yet I could never shake the feeling that I had betrayed my ideals. Perhaps I justified it by telling myself that my teachings could plant the seed for change.
An indirect approach, but an active one nonetheless.
The chance was unexpected, to be sure, but I could not very well deny it. The Archduke's successor, Gustadov, was a man that paid no heed to birth or blood. He effected a change in people's attitudes, a change which provided fertile ground in which my teachings could take root. Thus, I stayed by Frederica's side. Truth be told, I had not thought to be with her for this long. And yet, here I am. Life is truly a journey of unforeseen destinations.
Working hard again today, I see. How fares the research?
It progresses, and shall continue to do so, provided you remain out of my way.
Never one to mince words, are you? What is it you're researching exactly?
Your questioning remains distressingly inefficient. As I explained just yesterday, I'm exploring something truly groundbreaking.
And I'm asking you precisely how and why it's groundbreaking.
That would entail a thorough explanation of surface melting on ice crystals, one even you could understand. From there, I would have to explain how the quasi-liquid film on said crystal can then be thermodynamically stabilized.
All right, you win. I'm sorry I asked. But I can tell by your attitude all this work isn't good for you. You should join me for a swig of wine.
I'd rather not.
And why not?
Research has shown that wine inhibits the brain's higher functions.
Fewer words, more wine. A glass might shake a brilliant new idea out of that massive head of yours.
But my precious research! All I desire is to carry out my research without interruption. Are you listening, Eridor? My research on my terms. Why can they not grant me this one thing?
Yeah, well...
This cannot stand, Eridor. You hold me out here, yet you haven't so much as haven't touched your glass.
Oh, so you're an angry drunkard, are you? Lovely.
Me? A drunkard? Balderdash. It's the damn ministry. All their restrictions and secrecy. How are we to move forward if we can't share our techniques? Am I wrong?
You're damned right. As always, of course, about everything.
Sin on all that knowledge and skills it's not good. Worse than me locking myself up here.
Glorious silence. Thought the poor fool would never shut up. Right then. Off to bed with you. Ah, that's the good stuff. Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once, you know? Special like. Till he left me for a specialer someone. Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Forgive me, Hasabara. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Well, sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
How about to your son?
I, to Theo.
Please, you can't take our wheat. We just sent food the other day.
Silence! Lord Walford has ordered the requisition of all provisions. You wouldn't dare disobey your lord, would you?
Of course not. I just can't believe Lord Walford would command such a thing.
Are you accusing me, a noble woman of Glenbrook, of lying? How dare you, peasant?
Mayhap we should see what the commotion is about.
Mind telling us what's going on?
Well, if it isn't Captain Eridor. Thank you for all that you do to keep these lands safe.
You're one of the lot what recently fled from the Crown City, ain't you?
Just so, yes. I came to humbly lend what aid I could to Lord Wolford and deliver on the provisions I promised.
What is your quarrel with these people? If you could explain the situation, we'd be more than happy to lend what aid we can.
Please, I beg of you, don't take our food. It's all we have.
I've always known Lord Walford to care for his people above all. Why would he do this to us?
What madness is this? Lord Serenoa has strictly forbidden commandeering food from the common folk. Surely you aren't asking these good people to relinquish their stores to you in his name?
I am simply gathering provisions on Lord Wolford's behalf, as I promised. Honestly, he should be grateful.
Grateful? Huh. He'd be red in the face if he saw what you were doing. Ain't no way he ordered it.
On the contrary, you are acting in violation of your lord's decree. We cannot overlook your actions. You will come with us and be jailed. There you will await judgment for your crimes.
What nonsense is this? I am a noblewoman of Glenbrook. How dare you try to order me about, you self-important little man? You've no authority over me!
Look, I ain't disagreeing, but are you sure we should accost her without seeking Lord Serenoa's counsel first?
We haven't that luxury. The longer she is allowed to roam free, the more the people will suffer, and our lord's good name be sullied. We must show the people that unethical acts will not go unpunished. Take her away.
You will pay for your impudence!
Can't believe there are scoundrels out here using House Wolfort's name for ill gain. You've done us all proud today, Julio.
Thank you ever so much, my lord. We'd be facing starvation if you hadn't stepped in.
She really had us fooled. We should have known Lord Wolford is too kind a man to order anything like that.
If you are ever troubled again, please seek me out. I shall ensure that any wrongs committed against you are set right.
Well, that's it for this video. Hope you like it and stay tuned.